Hey friends, this is Jennifer Terry and welcome to my channel. In this video ay pag-uusapan natin ang guide in going home to the Philippines. So this is for those who are going home to the Philippines for vacation, especially this Christmas, or for those who are just deciding whether should I go home to the Philippines for a vacation? Yeah, so this video is for you. Here's what you can expect in the Philippines when you go home. So in this video, we'll divide these in sections, no? First one is arrival process, quarantine, domestic travel, daily life, what's like life in the Philippines, domestic tourism, at COVID situation. So without further ado, let's start. First up is the arrival process. So sa arrival process, there are travel requirements po. So, the mga forms, mga online forms na kailangan mong fill upan at meron ding app na kailangan i-download. Now, I know I will not go through everything, okay? I will just give you a general idea. And don't worry about these things po kasi even if wala ka nito, makakasakay ka pa rin ng airplane, makakauwi ka pa rin. Kaya nga lang, kung hindi mo to gagawin before your travel, pagdating mo sa Pinas, marami ka pong pila na pagdadaanan. Alam niyo naman sa atin, talaga maraming pila. So, for example, wala kang COVID test registration sa PadLab or sa PAL or sa Red Cross, pipila ka doon. So, mas matatagalan po yung process ninyo. And then, kunwari wala ka ding registration sa Trace App, again, pipila ka na naman and yeah, so more pila. Mas matagal yung process mo sa airport kung wala ka ng mga travel requirements na ito. And again, yung pinaka-importante lang naman, mandatory na kailangan mong dalhin pa uwi is Philippine passport na valid. Yun lang naman talaga yung pinaka-importante for OFWs and non-OFWs. Let's continue. Kung former Filipino naman or balikbayan, so, former Filipino, for example, Pinoy ka na nakakuha na ng citizenship sa abroad, so hindi ka na Filipino citizen, so former Filipino, yan po yun. Or kung ikaw ay kapamilya ng isang former Filipino or Filipino na naging foreigner na at mag-uwi kayo sa bansa, ito po yung mga kailangan ninyo. Foreign na passport ninyo, kailangan valid, old Philippine passport, kahit nga expired na or luma na, okay lang po yun. Proof lang naman na former Filipino ka. And or pwede din yung birth certificate. And then, kailangan nyo din ng pre-book COVID test at pre-book na quarantine hotel. So, don't worry guys, kung gusto nyo malaman yung process paano mag-pre-book ng COVID test at quarantine hotel, including all the links, gumawa ako ng video dyan. So, check this video in my channel, yeah, after you watch this. And also, trace up QR code sa lahat ng uuwi po. Kailangan ng trace up in all Philippine airports. Kailangan may trace up QR code. Now, kung hindi mo ito ma-download kasi maraming issues din app na ito, merong website, pwede kang mag-download. Ilalagay ko sa baba. Now, that's all. Okay? Hindi tayo mag-go through in detail about these travel requirements. Next, we have yung mga open lang na mga international airports. So, mga airports na tumatanggap or that has international arrivals ay tatlo lang. Mactan, Naiya of course, Manila sa Naiya, Mactan, Cebu at Clark Airport. Yun lang po yung mga open na airports for international arrivals. Dumating ka na sa Pilipinas, welcome back, mabuhay. Welcome, Char. So, umabot ka na sa Pilipinas, congrats. So, yung rule is test and quarantine. So, when you arrive straight, pagdating sa airport, iti-test ka po ng COVID test. So, yung COVID test is RT-PCR, so sa ilong at saka sa bibig. So, even if na-test ka na before ng inyong flight, even if na-test ka 48 hours, 12 hours, meron kang negative result galing abroad, it doesn't matter. Magte-test ka naman po ulit. And even bata, buntis, senior citizen, foreigner, Pinoy, former Filipino, same po, magte-test po talaga at magka-quarantine. So, yung quarantine, iba-iba yung presyo, no? Sa mga OFWs, syempre, libre po. Quarantine, libre lahat. Pero kung non-OFW ka or former Filipino, balikbayan, hindi po siya libre. Shoulder po ninyo. So, iba-iba yung presyo. Ilalagay ko dito. Yan. Merong Red Cross na 4,000, I think. And then, merong Padlab na iba-iba yung presyo. Now, you might think, oh, magkano yung gastos kasi merong quarantine, merong COVID. Continue muna ako. Sa quarantine pala, yung quarantine is hindi lang basta-basta na hotel. Hindi yung, ay, dito ko gusto magstay. No. It has to be an accredited government quarantine hotel. Okay? So, may list dyan, ilalagay ko sa baba. And gumawa na din ako video ng affordable quarantine hotels. You can watch this video too. Okay. So, balik tayo. Kung nag-iisip na kayo, magkano bang kailangan kong perang paghandaan sa test at saka sa quarantine hotel? Now, kung ikaw isang non-OFW, balikbayan, syempre, shoulder mo lahat, gumawa na din ako ng video tungkol dito. Marami na po akong nagawang videos. So, you can check this video too. So, roughly, let's say swab test 4,000. Transfer mo galing sa airport papunta sa hotel, bawal po yung private pick-up. Okay? Bawal sundo sa family or friends. At kahit may bahay ka pa or condo malapit sa airport, bawal ka po mag-quarantine doon. Yung quarantine ay dapat sa government-accredited facility. Yeah. So, yun nga, airport to hotel transfer, ang choices ay pwedeng i-pick up ng hotel, service ng hotel, kung meron silang pick-up service. Or meron ding shuttles or vans sa airport at meron ding mga coupon metered taxi. So, yun lang yung options mo. Bawal yung sundo. So, let's say mga 500 pesos budget and then hotel, let's say 4,000, mga 1 to 2 days lang yung quarantine. And then food, let's say mga 1,500, total 10,000 pesos po. So, budget po, how much you need sa test and quarantine, more or less 10,000 pesos po. May mga natanong ako na kaya ng 5,000 pesos. Pero I don't know how they made that. Kasi nga 4,000 na yung swab test. And merong mga iba na nagastos is more than 10,000. Meron ding 10,000. So, depende sa diskarte ninyo. Or depende sa preference. Kung gusto niyo ng social na hotel or gusto niyo yung mabilis na swab test. Iba-iba. Now, for example, nag-quarantine ka na-receive mo na yung negative result mo, you're free! Yay! So, pwede ka nang lumabas, char. Pwede ka nang umalis. So, free ka na ba? Yes, free ka na. So, kung within, like, let's say, yung arrival mo is sa Manila and taga Metro Manila ka lang, swerte, hindi ka nasasakay ng eroplano, diba? Pwede ka magpasundo na or pwede ding sumakay ng public transport. And then, kung ikaw naman ay, let's say, nag-land ka sa Manila and let's say yung ano mo talaga final destination is, let's say, Davao or Jensan or Cebu, kailangan mo pang sumakay ng domestic flight, well, meron na namang travel requirements. So, ang tawag dito, domestic flight general travel requirements. So, usually, yung mga hinihingi ay yung negative result mo ng COVID test, yung certificate of quarantine, makukuha din to online, tutulungan ka naman ng hotel reception. And then last is travel authority na makukuha sa police station. So don't stress so much about this. For information sa mga travel requirements sa iba't ibang lugar sa Pilipinas, pumunta tayo sa website ng Philippine Airlines. So yung Philippine Airlines is a very good source of information talaga, guys.
Travel rules within the Philippines po at mga travel requirements sa bawat lugar, pumunta tayo sa website ng Philippine Airlines. Marami talaga kayong makukuha ng mga good information sa Philippine Airlines po. Tagal naman. Yan. Mahinang wifi ko, guys. Yan. There you go. So, punta tayo sa travel information. Tapos, about COVID-19. And then, punta tayo sa travel rules and requirements, and then traveling within the Philippines. Yan. So, guide on domestic travel. Yan. So, makikita nyo talaga nga, iba't ibang lugar, may iba't ibang requirements. So, for example, pumunta tayo sa requirements sa, punta tayo sa Tacloban. Tingnan natin anong requirements sa Tacloban. So, ikaw, lahat ng darating sa Pilipinas, gagaling abroad, ay under classification ng ROF, or returning overseas Filipinos. Kahit foreign national dito rin ma-fall. So, itong Tacloban walang specific para sa mga ROF. So, yung requirement, alam natin is travel pass or travel authority, medical certificate, tapos kailangan ng mandatory quarantine upon arrival. So, sa mga uuwi or gustong umuwi ng Tacloban, kailangan nyo po ng 14 days quarantine. So, let's say hotel quarantine, 1 day, and then 14 days home quarantine or quarantine pagdating ng Tacloban. So, 15 days quarantine. So, that's a long time. Kung maliit lang yung vacation mo, you have to think twice. Kung gusto mo pa rin ipagpatuloy and willing kang mag-quarantine ng matagal. And let's check naman ibang lugar. Punta tayo sa Jensan. No, alam ko yung Jensan medyo stricto talaga. Tingnan natin sa Jensan. Sorry guys, medyo mahina yung internet ko ngayon. Then, so yung classification quarantine ng Jensan, MGCQ. And then, let's see. So, walang ROF requirements. So, yung requirements pauwi ng Jensan, kung ikaw ay hindi ka isang LSI, ito. Negative RT-PCR result or antigen within 72 hours. Napaka-stricto po ng Jensan. Kailangan may RT-PCR 72 hours prior flight bago ka pumuntang Jensan. Let's try naman yung sa Metro Manila. Kung Metro Manila, GCQ yung Metro Manila, so ROF, ang kailangan lang is Bureau of Quarantine Medical Certificate at yung COVID negative result mo, and then ID. Yun lang. 'Di ba? Wala nang 14 days home quarantine. So, swerte yung mga uuwi lang ng Metro Manila kasi wala nang home quarantine na 14 days. So, if you want to check guys, ilalagay ko tong link na to sa description box para magkaroon naman kayo ng idea kung ano ba yung requirements ng LGU ninyo. And warning lang, baka may mga changes, hindi agad nag-update tong Philippine Airlines agad-agad. Kaya, it's still best to contact your LGU.
Now, umabot ka na sa province mo or saan ka ba umuwi. Tapos na ba ang quarantine mo? Free ka na ba? It depends. So, depende sa lugar, depende sa rules ng LGU mo. So, actually, may dalawang klase ng stages ng quarantine. Una yung hotel quarantine, na 1 to 2 days lang naman. Second is yung tinatawag na 14-day provincial quarantine. So, it depends sa rules ng LGU. May mga LGU, like for example, kung uuwi ka Metro Manila lang, wala nang 14 days home quarantine. So, yung quarantine mo lang is yung 1 to 2 days na hotel quarantine. So, wow, very lucky kayo. Kasi, you can maximize your vacation. Now, if sa ibang province, like let's say Davao, Jensan, required po yung 14 days home quarantine. So, meaning, pag uwi mo agad-agad sa province mo, magre-report ka sa barangay or sa city government na galing kang abroad, ganun-ganon. Tapos, kailangan mong mag 14 days home quarantine. Sa ibang lugar, home quarantine lang. At may ibang lugar din na government facility talaga, 14 days. Yeah. Meron ding iba na 7 days government facility. And meron ding iba, ang half is 7 days sa home. So, iba't iba talaga yung rules ng bawat LGU. So, it pays to contact, or get in touch with your LGU kung ano ba yung requirements, kung required ba yung 14 days. Kasi, like for example, like former Filipino ka or balikbayan and you just wanna go home to the Philippines for like Christmas vacation, and let's say yung lugar na uuwian mo ay required ng 14 days home quarantine, and then yung work leave mo lang is 3 weeks. So hotel quarantine, like let's say 2 days, and then 14 days home quarantine, that's 16 days of quarantine. So it's like more than half of your vacation and magka-quarantine ka. So you have to think about if your vacation is just very short, like let's say less than 1 month, this is something that you really should consider. Next is life in the Philippines during the pandemic. So what's like life in the Philippines sa Pinas? Okay, so first is wearing face mask is mandatory in public. Okay? So, kung sa labas ng bahay, kailangan talagang magsuot ng face mask. They're very strict on this. Like, for example, sa amin, sa Davao del Norte, if you don't wear face mask and the police catches you, pwede ka pong magka-fines ng 500 pesos. Yeah. So, depending on the rules na naman of your LGU. Okay? But they take face mask is really mandatory in public. That's the whole Philippines. And face mask is required sa simbahan, and even sa weddings, required ang face mask. And even sa birthday parties. Oh, wait. I think this is a wrong picture. Yeah, this is a wrong picture, guys. And also, on top of face mask is face shield. Yes, face shield is also mandatory po sa mga malls, sa mga commercial establishments, sa public transport, at saka sa mga workplaces. Required ang face shield. In the next section, let's go to quarantine. Now, when it comes to quarantine, lockdown, Philippines has taken some of the most hardline measures in the world. Yeah, number 1. In fact, no, number 1, we have the longest community quarantine period in the world. So there are different quarantine classifications po. Like there's ECQ, GCQ, MGCQ. I know it's confusing, but don't worry, friends, because most parts of the country are now under less restrictive measures of either GCQ or MGCQ. Kasi nga, the Philippines has to open up because of economic reason, you know. We can't be closed for this long na. President Duterte announced quarantine classifications for December last November 30.
Classification ay ang National Capital Region, Batangas, Iloilo City, Tacloban City, Lanao del Sur, Iligan, Davao City. The rest of the country will be under modified general community quarantine.
So yun nga, no, GCQ for some areas. Like, na ito is mas stricto talaga. And the rest of the country is under MGCQ, which is less restrictive na. Now, when it comes to family reunions, so family reunions is a big thing for Christmas, you know. But family reunions are considered as mass gatherings. So the Interior and Local Government, si Secretary Eduardo Año said na that the government is discouraging large family reunions po. So during Christmas. So apart from that, wala din pong Christmas caroling. So katulad po ng plan na hindi po papayagan ang Christmas party din, hindi rin papayagan ang Christmas caroling. Wala pong mass gathering. Yun po ang yung pong family reunion na isang considered na mass gathering. Aside from that, no entry for minors in Metro Manila malls. So if you have a child, this is something you have also to think about. Minors are banned from going malls unless yung local government units may pass an ordinance that would allow children to visit the said establishments. But in general, sa Metro Manila, bawal po yung minors. So, yung allowed lang sa minors is exercise, like going out for essential reasons like check-up, going to the dentist, ganun. You may already know na yung schools sa Philippines ay closed lahat. Okay, so ginagawa nila ngayon is online class or blended class. So, meron ding iba na module-module lang. Wala talagang, like, walang guidance ng teacher. Like, go to tourism. So, in yung international tourism, like, foreigners, foreign tourists are still not allowed. So, international travel is limited. The country now is banking on domestic tourism. So, in-encourage na mga Filipinos to explore their own backyard. So, yung mga major, like, tourist attractions like Boracay, Baguio, Siargao, and Ilocos have opened na their borders to local tourists, but under stringent protocol. So, requirements na naman. Like, for example, if you want to go to Siargao, Siargao is opened, you need to have like RT-PCR test within 48 hours. You need a confirmed booking sa isang result. You need to fill out a form. So, may mga requirements, and sometimes they even require mandatory quarantine upon arrival. So, marami talagang travel requirements sa Pilipinas, guys. So, that's one of the hindrance din sa mga tourists na mag-travel. Dahil nga, masyadong complicated yung requirements, iba-iba per lugar. Yun nga yung gusto ng Department of Tourism head na si Secretary Puyat na gawin na lang sanang uniform. Pero pinag-uusapan pa rin yan. I hope they would make it uniform, right? And when it comes to flights naman, good news naman kasi regular na yung mga flights. Philippine Airlines, Cebu Pacific, AirAsia, the Philippine Airlines announced na they're ready to offer non-stop flights as government eases travel requirements. So they are ready to do their part to serve our balikbayans and perk up the Philippine tourism. Yeah. Now, when it comes to COVID cases, the Philippines are actually doing better. As you can see in the graph, it's going down naman. The curve is going down. And according to the data tracker of the DOH, 6.3% na lang yung active cases and 91.7% ay recovered na daw. And then 1.94% have died from COVID. So yun. So really, that's all for this video, guys. This is very just general, guide and just give you an idea. And whether it's worth it or not, it's up to you because iba-iba naman tayo. Meron tayong personal preferences. Of course, we all want to go home for one reason, to be with our family, Filipino spirit, Filipino Christmas. There's nothing else like that in the world. But yeah, this is pandemic, so yeah. That's all for this video, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again. Bye!